Kirby Air Riders, the first game with a pink protagonist ever created in all media that also likes to eat a lot of food and float around non-stop. I'm also not the biggest Kirby fan, but I know he's supposed to be driving a car like this, right? He's done it before. He's supposed to be, going into mouthful mode. I know Sakurai loves his games and his Kirby games to be unique and interesting in their own unique way. That's why Kirby Air Riders spells car. Coincidence? I think not. But listen, I know every Sakurai fan out there is thinking right now that Air Riders is gonna climb the ladder to the top for the best racing game ever created. So let's talk about it. There's a story mode on this game where they explain more or less the reasoning behind the characters. I didn't play the original on the GameCube, and I noticed that the main guy looks like a character from Ranma, so I appreciate that. Now, if you don't know, this is the same guy that directed Smash Brothers, which is known for their cool menus and snap animations, even though he kind of fumbled it with the Fortnite crossover. Other than that, the menu loads fast, the transitions are nice and snappy, everything is explained the first time you play with big bright bold text, so you won't get confused about the goals and objectives, and I appreciate that as someone, like I said, that didn't play the original. The menus are nice and bright, and the character select and the machine select screen are pretty cool. I enjoy the animation in between and the characters. And as you can see, this is the beginning. You will be able to unlock more characters. There are a few quirks that I'm still trying to figure out, like this screen. I'm still unsure of what happens when you get the gummies and what's the reason to have them floating around. But other than that, you can customize your vehicle. This is my masterpiece, as you can tell. This was my first time trying to make something interesting. Just to realize at the very end that the eyes and mouth are facing the camera, so he's running backwards. There's a music track selection, a garage space for your cars in case you want to show them off, and a few other quality of life decisions that I appreciate after playing Mario Kart, which is not very user friendly. But how is the game itself? I wanted to show this clip because it shows my confusion and kind of complaints about this game. It's a lot. There's a lot of lights, there's a lot of particles. I don't even know necessarily when to turn after all that much noise. I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to go to the objective, but apparently it's underground. The game itself is not really telling me that, so it was really confusing, but the arrow doesn't point downwards or anything like that, right? So it took me a second, again with all the icons and the camera shaking, trying to figure out what to do. And I know that's user error, and I'm gonna get better the more I play, because it's also a fun game, man. I know I sound like I'm complaining a lot, but it is a fun game, right? So it comes with a territory to not be able to fully understand. It's very rewarding when you pull off some crazy good movement in the end, and then you realize that you win, even though you don't necessarily know how you won.
Por fin gané algo, no sé por qué, ni cómo, ni por qué, pero gané primer lugar.
The online racing, it's pretty fast too. The way everything loads and the way the matches begin. Again, coming from Mario Kart, which is always a drag, man. It takes like 30 seconds to start, plus when you load it, plus selecting a stage. Here, you just load it up, select your character, you're ready to go. It loads really fast, finds people really fast. You don't play with as many players as Mario Kart, at least not in this mode. But yeah, as you can see, even the countdown is super intense and snappy. Everything runs really quickly. I like this stage a lot. It's easier to read, less noise than the average ones. And another thing that I do think about sometimes is that I know Kirby's powers are about absorbing other characters, but what about other characters in the game? Like, what about Susie here? Why is she eating and absorbing the characters? I don't know. But she looks cool. I like this character a lot too, even though she looks like she's got claws when you look at her from behind. You also get this mode when you get like a top view for different things like Micro Machine arcades from the 90s. I didn't really like this mode as much, but it's cool to have variety. And lastly, from the other modes that I liked, the diving mode, it's actually pretty fun. I did pretty badly in the beginning. There's one where you go basically horizontally. This one is going downwards and you collect points and you try to get to the highest score. I really like that one. There's a store too that you can hit up during story mode that will help you further your stats. And I think that's also kind of cool. You know, during story mode you can get better. And there are also boss fights. That was a big one for me. I enjoyed all the boss fights in this game. Like, they're actually pretty clever and kind of cool looking. The intros are always cool, like, you know, the character design and like the particles are very intense. There are a couple of super bosses, like this Robo DDD fight. That was pretty cool and intense as well. Some of the rewards are also kind of challenging to get, but yeah, defeating the bosses is pretty fun. Also, I don't know who this little dude is. If anyone can tell me in the comments what he does or why is he here. This little green guy is my favorite. In the end, he helped me somehow for some reason, and I think he was awesome. Who is this game for? I think Kirby Air Riders is perfect for players who love fast-paced, easy-to-pick-up racing games with a fun twist. This game is designed for casual gamers, Kirby fans, and anyone who wants a racing experience that feels different from the usual Mario Kart style. Since the controls are simple, just steering and a single button, it's ideal for younger players, new gamers, or anyone who prefers games that are simple to learn but still full of depth. The city trial mode is cool, turns every match into a mix of chaos, strategy, and surprise. If you enjoy collecting power-ups, exploring open maps, and doing wild challenges with friends, I think Kirby Air Ride scratches that itch perfectly. Overall, it's the perfect game for people who love colorful, charming Nintendo games, want a fast-paced arcade-style racing, and prefer games that are fun first, skill second. Thank you, Sakurai. You've created a masterpiece.